Hey everyone, this is Laura Gadenig with Laura Gadenig Astrology, and I'm here to give you the astrology for the weeks of November 13th through the 26th, 2023. And I've been mentioning in my other videos as well that I am also a therapist. So I hope to give some therapeutic tips and tricks in addition to the astrology so that we can work with the astrology and not have the astrology work us necessarily. We don't have total free will. We have free will in how we respond to things and how we react. Sometimes we don't even have free will over that because we don't always have total control over our nervous systems. But with practice, we can become more in control of how we respond to things, how we react, and work with the energy rather than the energy always working us. So that's my intention here. Okay, so on the 13th, Monday, that's tomorrow, November 13th, we have a new moon in Scorpio. This new moon is pretty intense, not only because it's in the sign of Scorpio, a sign about death and rebirth and regeneration and transformation. Scorpio is a time of year in the northern hemisphere where things are dying. Things in the natural world are going to seed. They're dying to be reborn later in the spring. And so Scorpio time of year is often signified with death, with grief, with darkness. It is a dark time of year. And so that does bring a sense of intensity, a sense of life or death sensation or kind of feeling to this time of year. So this new moon does hold that energy of intensity, of things that feel really important or really kind of life or death stakes, right? New moons are always times of renewal, of planting seeds, of intention setting. So it is a time to do that, to plant seeds of intention around what you'd like to see growing with regards to the part of your chart that contains Scorpio. So whatever house that is, it's a good time to set intentions about what you'd like to see growing in that part of your life. So for instance, if it's like your first house of self, body, identity, this might be a time to plant a seed around who you want to be, how you want to present yourself to the world. If Scorpio's on the cusp of your second house of money, finances, and resources, it might be what seeds you want to plant around your intentions for money, intentions for budgeting, for spending, etc. So if you know your houses, you know where Scorpio is, you can more intentionally plant seeds around those themes. This new moon is intense also, not only because it's in the sign of Scorpio, but also it's very closely conjoined with the planet Mars and is also in opposition with the planet Uranus. So this is a new beginning that really involves Mars-Uranus themes. Mars-Uranus themes are about breakthroughs, breaking free from something that's not working or that's felt stuck. This could be a situation, this could be a thinking pattern, this could be an emotional pattern. It could feel a bit disruptive, it could feel emotional. Scorpio is a water sign, and it's a water sign that runs deep. So deep, emotional, intense, cathartic release could be part of this new moon. And this new moon also, every new moon colors the moon cycle ahead. So the next couple weeks of this moon cycle will carry themes of liberation, transformation, upheavals, change. Be careful of accidents. Sometimes when, I'll say sometimes the astrology can come about internally. So having this like internal shift or change of mind, emotional state, etc. Or it can come about externally. So things happening in your external world. And sometimes, at least this is my belief, when we're not maybe consciously working with the energy, or we're not kind of recognizing that something needs to change. Sometimes something externally will happen so that we're forced to face something. We're forced to change for our evolution, for our growth and transformation. And I don't always know when that is, right? We can't always know, like, oh, this thing happened externally over here so that I would have no other choice but to go in this direction. Like, we don't really know, but it's just something to think about. Okay, so yes, really intense new moon, full of cathartic release, breaking free, breakthroughs, etc. And this is going to be really thematic for the whole first week, and I'll get to that in a minute. But first, Wednesday the 15th, we have Mercury, planet of the mind and communication, making a lovely sextile to beautiful Venus, planet about love, beauty, pleasure, joy, fun. Mercury-Venus combinations are filled with sweet words, sweet exchanges, sweet messages. This could help smooth any ruffled feathers. This could be a good day for writing poetry or songwriting or making amends with someone. You might just like feel more optimistic on this day, which might be kind of nice because it's been pretty intense the last couple weeks. Pretty quick transit, that's Wednesday the 15th. Then on Friday the 17th, the Sun and Mars conjoin. So in Scorpio, the Sun and Mars conjoin in Scorpio, and Sun-Mars conjunctions, that's the aspect that happens when they conjoin, this only happens once every 2 years. So this is a more significant cycle. And this is renewing the Mars cycle. So Mars is a planet about action, will, desire, going after what we want, connecting with our desires. And in Scorpio is a very committed, stable, steady kind of sign. And with Mars in Scorpio, it's like this never-ending, slow-burning engine that has the sustainability to burn forever, essentially. So this is really reconnecting us with our energy for something. This is connecting us. This is connecting us to a renewed sense of what we desire, what we most deeply want, what we want to put our energy towards. At the same time, on the same day, the Sun and Mars are making a really beautiful trine to Neptune, god of the seas, god of dreams and hope and vision and aspirations. And so with Sun-Mars combined together, making this trine to Neptune, planet about dreams, compassion, and purpose as well, this is reconnecting us to our drive, our energy, and our motivation to work towards a more beautiful world, whatever that means to you. That's going to mean something different to each person. But what is it that you really want in your heart? Where do you want to put your energy? And how can you do that in a way that is going to connect you to something more beautiful, perhaps bigger than yourself, and perhaps that makes the world a more compassionate place? That is Neptune. So this is Friday the 17th, and we might be noticing this energy also all throughout the week, pretty much ever since the new moon on Monday the 13th. So I think it's a really exciting part of the week's astrology is this Sun-Mars connection or conjunction, making this trine to Neptune, reconnecting us with our sense of will and purpose and drive. And how can we do that sustainably? How can we make sure that our engine, our life force, our chi, our energy doesn't just like run out? You know, what do we need to keep feeding that? So something to think about. Okay, and then Monday the 20th, the Sun makes a sextile to Pluto. Mercury makes a trine to Chiron. So Pluto is a planet about getting beneath the surface of things, uncovering things, researching, digging. So Sun and Pluto together creates fertile ground for deep exploration of something, deep research of something, maybe deeper conversations and a greater sense of connection. Mercury, planet of the mind and communication, is making a supportive aspect to Chiron, which is an asteroid about pain or a wound, something that we hold that has been painful. So this might be a day of digging deeper into what's been painful for you. There might be some insights into what you need for healing. Or you might have some healing conversations as well. Okay, then Wednesday the 22nd, the sun heads into Sagittarius. We are in Sagittarius season. And then Thursday the 23rd, the sun immediately makes a square to Saturn. Saturn is a planet about responsibility, duty, obligation, hard work, difficulty. Squares are tense aspects. They're not the easiest. So this day could feel kind of like a bummer. It could feel sobering. There could be a reality check. You might feel a bit lonely. Saturn is a planet about isolation. So there could be that sense of feeling like you're alone. And it's a good time to reach out to a friend, remind yourself in all the ways that you're not alone, write down a list of people in your network, so people you could reach out to. And also really good day to use the energy to apply yourself to your responsibilities. Like, what is it that you need to get done that you haven't? But yeah, it could feel a bit kind of like a little bit of a like, wah, wah, like kind of sad, but, and then, let's see, Friday the 24th, Mars heads into Sagittarius, and Mars will be here until January 5th. And Mars is going to bring energy, passion, motivation to the part of your chart that contains Sagittarius. Could also bring up some conflict. Mars is the god of war. And as soon as Mars enters Sagittarius, it's going to make a square to Saturn too, because Saturn is in Pisces. Pisces and Sagittarius make an aspect that's called a square to each other, which is 90 degrees between two signs. So this is Saturday the 25th. Mars square Saturn. This could feel like a restraint to your energy. You could feel extra tired, or like your energy is somehow limited. Maybe you have signed up to do too many things. Maybe you've overcommitted. It's good to kind of know about the fact that Mars is coming up to this square with Saturn, so that you can prepare ahead of time to not sign up for too many things, to not burn yourself out, to give yourself some extra time to get things done. So yeah, give yourself some extra time. Slow and steady wins the race. Maybe adjust your expectations for yourself on how much you can get done. It could also feel a bit frustrating, like like you have a lot to do and you don't have enough time, or it's taking longer than you anticipated, or you're exhausted or something. So it's really good to adjust your expectations for yourself. And really, if we can adjust our expectations for ourselves to match the energy of the astrology, that's going to reduce a lot of suffering. But if we have this kind of mentality of like, oh, I should do this, I should do that, I should, whatever, or else I'm not good enough, or I'm not working hard enough, or whatever it is, we're just telling ourselves stories that are going to create a sort of depression, or a sense of depression, or not being good enough, or it's not good for your mental health is what I'm getting at. Like, sometimes the astrology signifies stories that might come up for us that aren't really useful stories. And we always have to ask ourselves, whenever there's a story that comes up, is it true, right? Like, is it true that I should do this? Is it true that I have to do this? The answer is, it's probably not true. I mean, unless you have like a deadline, you really have to like push for something, or you're not gonna, there's like dire consequences. That's like a different situation. But often the stories that we tell ourselves, we could probably change those stories to be kinder. So, okay, well, that is the astrology for the next couple weeks. I hope this was helpful, and please reach out with any comments, questions, concerns, and I'm open for consultation. So if you're interested in that, please reach out, and otherwise I'll be back in the next couple weeks for another astrology update.